What phase did you go through that makes you cringe? I was heavily influenced by movies like The Matrix, The Crow, and Blade. I thought I needed to dress in all black and rock a badass trench coat when I was 12, and fat. And after Columbine. This is golden. I can only imagine the looks. I used to think I was going to be the next great American writer. I wrote a novel-length book where the main character, obviously me, was sleeping with every hot girl in the school. I let my best friend read it and he passed it to one of the girls that he was friends with. It got passed around. A lot. Possibly to teachers. I'm not sure how many people read before I got it back. Years later, people were still quoting it. So you wrote erotic friend fiction. I thought Naruto was really cool when I was in middle school. No matter how much I drink, I can't forget the times I ran with my arms backwards. I tried it a couple times. No lie, it feels faster. One time someone caught me doing it, so I threw in some airplane sounds, but they knew. You can feel the air being passed through you and not against you. I just want a weeb 100-meter sprinter to do this in the Olympics to prove everyone wrong. I was a raging chola. Brown lip liner with clear gloss, slicked down hair in the front and then crinkled the length. Huge gold hoops that said princess in the center. That's enough. I don't want to remember anymore. Well, at least you didn't shave your eyebrows and then pencil them in like the cholas at my school. When I was in middle school, I confused being obnoxious with being funny. I think that's everyone in middle school. Can confirm, I'm a middle school teacher. I used to have crushes on random boys and would literally follow them around like a sick puppy without saying a word, and I'd openly stare at them and write poetry about them in my notebook and friend them on MySpace without having ever spoken to them. I was a straight-up stalker with no concept of boundaries, and I also complained about how no guys ever wanted to date nice girls like me. They just wanted to date bitches and sluts. I was a total female neckbeard. When I was in college, I spent a couple of months mesmerized by matches. I would light one and watch it burn down, and if someone came by, I'd say in my best documentary voice, something like, "Since time began, man has been fascinated by fire." Glad I got through that phase without actually becoming a pyro. I went through a phase that I was a great explorer and a survival expert. Went wandering sometime with a plan to build a treehouse and live there. During the night, I ate some poisonous berries and ended up bedridden in a hospital for a week. The purple berries taste like burning! They were actually sweet, which didn't help since I ate more. When I was a teenager, I wore metal rulers, like a fashion accessory. The bigger the better. This was made all the more ridiculous by the fact that 1. I'm quite short, 2. I liked to wear the longest rulers I could find, 18 inches was the standard for me, and it nearly hit the ground, and 3. I thought the coolest way to fasten them to my pants was with padlocks, which I invariably lost the keys to or combinations, if they were combination. Most of my teen years were spent with Jinko jeans that all had the belt loops cut off as a result. So cool. Since this is confusing for some people, I'm a chick. The ruler was not my peen, and no, I don't have pics. Sorry. Rulers like the long measuring sticks? Right? I literally have no idea what to picture here. There was a brief period of time where my best friend and I dressed like we were in the Matrix. I remember going all dressed in black to Target, of all places thinking we looked so cool. I smile when I see teens who have adopted wild and crazy clothing styles. Your parents dress you when you're little, and then you get to spend from 21 to retirement wearing whatever work wants you to, and then you spend the last years wearing shorts, sandals, and knee socks, and then you die. The world is often bland and boring. Someone should wear some wacky crap. Might as well be those crazy teens. I like your attitude. It makes me feel better about my previous self. When I was in elementary school, maybe 3rd or 4th grade, my older sister was really into Hilary Duff. So of course, she played it constantly in every car ride we took. Apparently the music grew on me and I knew every word of some of the songs. Or at least I thought I did. So my friends and I would play this role-playing game where we would create characters for ourselves with special powers and fought imaginary monsters around the playground. And of course, I picked Hilary Duff as my character, with the power to sing enemies to sleep. I'm a male. I distinctly remember when it was my turn to attack a monster, so I somehow thought it would be a good idea to sing an entire Hilary Duff song. I also remember my friends trying to stop me several times, but I insisted that I had to sing the whole thing so that it actually fell asleep. Yeah, my friends stopped playing that game after that. I had an I'm too edgy to hang out with normal people phase. I shiver at the memory of it. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy, and we're playing Minecraft today. I used to dream of doing YouTube videos. Sort of died by the time I got decent computer hardware, thankfully. Man, I'm 32 and I still want to. Who wouldn't want to get paid every day to play video games? Only problem is I have the charisma of a wet potato and nobody would be interested in watching me play video games. Old guy here, 67. When the Beatles came to America in 1964, I was a big fan. My mom and I had an old shower cap and I found some black yarn. So with some scissors and Elmer's glue, I made myself a Beatles wig that I wore around the house and even to the local market. I wish I had some pictures. Old lady here, I went to a very strict Catholic girls' school. Although I was not religious, but a bit rebellious, I had very straight long blonde hair. One night, I read in 17 magazine that to get fullness in your hair, make tiny braids all over your head, stick them in drink to set, and in the morning, you get wavy hair. So I tried it. Imagine a girl of about 15 wearing a Catholic school uniform with blue-tinted glasses, a la John Lennon, with hair that was a cross between a Rasta and Janis Joplin. The nuns weren't happy, and the principal sent me home on the bus during the middle of the day, smelling like a brewery. I wish I had a photo. If only we had smartphones back then. Being rude and ungrateful to my parents. It was a crappy rebellious phase that made me look like an entitled POS. My parents rule and gave me a wonderful life. I had no reason to be ungrateful. In the mid-2000s, I was a ska kid. Dressed in a suit, wore a fedora, suspenders, checkerboard, everything. Took all my fashion cues from older ska bands like the English Beat and the Specials, skanked to songs that weren't even ska at high school dances. There were a few others in my high school that liked ska music, but didn't take it as far as me. Did you take your girlfriend to Burger King on prom night in a 90s Mustang? When I first joined the Army in 2006, I went through this ridiculous phase where I would use overly motivated Army phrases in casual conversation with my friends and family who were never in the military. I talked down to them and acted as if I was the biggest hero just for joining the military and being a medic. This was before I even went anywhere. All I had done at that point was graduate basic and medic training. By the time I came home from Iraq, that attitude was completely gone and I felt nothing but shame and apathy. Damn, that went from 0 to 100 real quick. How you feeling now? Better. I'm finally to the point that I'm proud of my service. I did get the opportunity to help a lot of people. I did the whole emo phase in middle and high school. The thing was, I wasn't able to acquire the resources that the other emo friends had. I wasn't able to dye my hair, and my hair type didn't work with those straightened fringe styles. I barely had access to cosmetics, so I couldn't even often paint my nails or wear eyeliner. When I did, I looked like an idiot. Basically, I like to refer to that time of my life as Kroger brand emo. I looked emo, but not enough to be legit. Yeah, that was me. Wanted the look so bad, but my mom banned me from dyeing my hair or getting piercings, and if I wanted trip pants, I had to save up and buy them myself. And man, those things were expensive. I wasn't allowed to pierce anything or dye my hair either. I was so grateful for the temporary hair dye Hot Topic carried. Since I couldn't really dye my hair purple, I got by with just doing the ends with that stuff. I think the only part of the look that I actually did right was the band tees and 12 pounds of eyeliner. In junior high, I used to draw stuff on my arms with a pen that I thought looked badass, like skulls and fire and swords and crap. Said I was going to get full sleeves when I turned 18. Now I'm 29 years old with 0 tattoos. Thank God you didn't follow through with real tattoos when you first could have gotten some. Yeah, I still have the shame of a crappy skull tattoo I got when I was 17 or so. 10 years on, I still haven't covered it because I can't decide what I want instead. About 2 decades of I'm not gay, it's just a phase. The cognitive dissonance of having a girlfriend but jerking off thinking about the boys on the basketball team was pretty cringeworthy. Ugh, boys in baseball pants are so hot. No judgment here. I should have kept playing baseball. The random phase. Things like rar and arrow. You also can't forget the staple emoji of colon and 3. 2012 was a dark time looking back. This isn't a phase for me. The second I came out the womb, the crap posts began. I am such a smart nerd phase. I would consider others inferior to my smartness and paste Wikipedia articles when talking about physics online. Sheldon Cooper was my hombre. I was the model smart kid. Obviously, even then I knew I was kinda stupid, so I outgrew the phase in 2 years. I am happy that I did not find Quora then. If you were a true very smart, you must have worked quantum into conversations as much as you could. And, well, actually, I was under the impression that the thug life chose me in the 6th grade. I was incorrect. The thug life, in fact, went with another applicant. I was pretty obsessed with communism for like 6 months when I was 14. It must have been pretty annoying to be around. In an ironic twist, I went to school with a very liberal community, and 10+ years later, half the people who used to crap on me for being a communist are now full-on Marxists who hate me for being center-left. Fun stuff. I teach 7th grade, and there's a boy in my class right now that is a full-on raging communist. Like, carries the Communist Manifesto to class and lectures his friends on Marx. This kid eats, sleeps, and breathes communism. And then, in a shocking turn of events, I learned recently that simultaneous to his communism addiction, he has been operating a successful underground mint-selling ring right under his teachers' noses. He's hired and fired employees from among his classmates, expanded his market into other homerooms, and has thus far made over $300, selling individual not-for-individual sale mints, so apparently he's the most brilliant capitalist in the 7th grade as well. Kid is going places for sure. Being an edgy metalhead, camel pants tucked into leather boots, wearing the most extreme shirt I could find before online ordering was the norm, and blasting crappy death metal a bit too loud. I still listen to some metal, but I'm not edgy anymore. Everyone grows. I was in that phase too, that I needed to show that I am a metalhead. I still am, but I have a job. I use normal shirts and shoes and stuff. Only when I go to a concert or some other place I put on my leather boots and my metal shirt. Blazer at the office, battle jacket at the show. That's the adult metalhead life! I used to hate going to thrift shops with my mother when I was a teenager. I would wear a blonde wig and sunglasses and make her call me Maria, not my real name. Looking back, my mother was just trying to support 3 kids on a dad's salary, and thrift shops allowed her to buy me name brand, albeit used, clothing that otherwise we wouldn't have been able to afford. What an idiot I was. And for the record, I love thrift shops now. Does your mom now know that you love them? If not, I bet it would make her happy to know you've come around. Posting Facebook statuses. Every 2 seconds for me way back in grade 9. I'm now haunted by the stupid memories thing that Facebook has. Why did I post so much? Why did no one stop me? Wearing gloves all the time for no reason. Going to see some friends in summer? Gloves. School day? Gloves. Swimming? Gloves. After a while, I upgraded to fingerless gloves. I have no idea what I was thinking. 12 to 14-year-old me was an idiot. I did this in middle school and early high school, but with just 1 glove instead of 2. I truly believed for 3 years that I was going to Hogwarts someday. I even asked the mailman every day and looked at the sky for owls. I was already 10, 3 years. I'm a teacher, and this is totally normal child development. It kinda makes me love you, kiddo. Bleach tips. Saw all the boy bands doing it and thought, yeah, I'll definitely look just as good. I didn't. In 4th grade, I went through a chubby stage, and I hated the way jeans constricted my thunder thighs. I tried on a pair of sweatpants, and it was magic. That entire year, all I wore was gray sweatpants. Literally even in the summer, and not the cute girly kind either. I would only wear the baggy men's pants that look like you're about to mow the lawn. Every pic from that year makes me cringe. I don't know, I kinda like that. A lot of these phases are people trying to act a certain way for approval. Yours is literally just a total screw it. Maybe not healthy, but more satisfying to read about than people changing themselves for other people. Oh god, I am so going to regret posting this, and I genuinely hope nobody from middle or high school happens to see this and connect the dots, but I went through a phase, from 6th grade to 9th grade, where I was obsessed with Gaara from Naruto. When I say obsessed, I mean obsessed. I walked around school wearing a Sand Village headband around my neck, I dyed my hair bright red and wore super thick eyeliner, I covered my bedroom with crappy screen caps of Gaara from the anime and manga, printed on regular printer paper and stuck all over my wall, even my ceiling. I wrote horrible Naruto fanfiction for my literature assignments. I started calling myself a Gaara-tard because I saw someone on the internet call themselves that and I thought it was so cool. Yes, a Gaara-tard. I legitimately self-identified as that. My best friend and I had created a horrible, god-awful running fanfiction roleplay where I was married to Gaara, and she was married to Spectre from Ape Escape, and we all lived in a beach house that wasn't even on a beach. We wrote this fanfiction together in class in a notebook we passed back and forth. I was so determined to be known as the girl obsessed with Gaara that sometimes, if my teachers asked me a question, I would just reply with, Gaara. I obviously never thought any of this was real, but I have no idea what possessed me to be that way. I even prayed at night for Gaara not to end up marrying Matsuri, because it would break my heart. Ugh, I'm done remembering now, that was an awful time. Back in middle school, I was really into Justin Bieber. He didn't hit puberty yet. Listening to his old songs today makes me cringe. I'm a guy. It's okay, before there was Justin Bieber, there was Aaron Carter. I liked cardigans a lot. I had a new cardigan almost every other day. I felt like Bill Cosby, minus the Quaaludes. At first I thought you said the Cardigans as in that 1990s band. 7th grade, headbanger phase death metal shirts, blasting Slayer in my bedroom. Fun times. 11th grade, preppy phase. There was this girl that I had a crush on and I thought she would like me if I had a cleaner look. Didn't work. I began listening to Blink-182 and buying clothes from PacSun and A&F. This phase lasted until I was about 19 or so, long after the crush ended. Honestly, those were some of the best times of my life. Somewhere in there, during my preppy phase, I started listening to rap, which kicked off a brief gangster phase, which was the late 90s and early 2000s, and Eminem was huge. Luckily, I never bleached my hair. Calmed down a bit until I hit my mid-20s, when from out of nowhere I went through a country phase. Probably tied with the gangster phase as my most cringeworthy. I really don't know where it came from. Only lasted about a year. Had a pocket watch phase where I would carry a pocket watch on a chain at pretty much all times at about 17 to 18. I wasn't dressing up fancy or going for some Victorian gentleman look. I still dressed like a lazy high schooler with a t-shirt and crap jeans. I just liked the cheap pocket watches that I bought from some local market. But pocket watches are cool. They don't feel uncomfortable on your arm, and they are fun to twirl around and click open and closed and fidget around with. When I had a wind-up pocket watch, it was almost like a pet. I had to remember to feed and wind it every day or it wouldn't work. The responsible adult phase. Get up and spend like 30 minutes with my family, get home and try to unwind from a day of dealing with equally frustrated coworkers. The evening comes and I spend an hour trying to get my kids to eat and another hour trying to get them in bed. We have fun for 30 minutes and then lights out. Try to hang out and talk to my wife, but we're both spent. Watch dumb TV and go to bed. Repeat. 1990s teenage me is pretty awesome by comparison. My everything sucks but metal phase. Whenever I listen to a metal song on YouTube and I dare to scroll down to the comment section, I'm met with the horrors of the edgy metalhead kids. The funniest thing I found is someone saying that Slipknot is great. Unlike all of that trash mainstream music, the Slipknot video had 120 million views. I went through an Ayn Rand phase when I was 18 to 19. Thank God I was a firm utilitarian before I was introduced to Ayn Rand. I only made it halfway through Atlas Shrugged before I thought, I hate every single character, and I don't even give a crap about who John Galt is. Used to wear UFO parachute pants in high school. I mean, it was the 90s, am I right? Clown red corduroy Jinko jeans. Don't regret a second of it. Those pants were the bomb. Girls were so turned on by them, they couldn't even stand to be near me. Typical 2000s emo phase. Trip pants, band shirts, and spiked hair, which also had the Naruto phase along with it. I remember wearing one of the headbands around my neck to school like every day with the emo getup. Dark times. I've worn a Superman shirt every day for 15 years. My collection is well over 100. That's not a phase, that's an addiction. It's a lifestyle. Tearaway pants. People constantly coming up to you at school and ripping your pants open. It's all fun and games until you forget to wear shorts underneath. I went through a Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie phase in 6th grade. I'd binge watch The Simple Life and take notes. I'd also read her book that came out around that time and take notes on that. I made collages of them and put them in my locker and went around saying, "That's hot." A short phase, but I faked a British accent for my first month of middle school because I read some article online that said girls found British accents the most attractive. Did the lasses look upon you with favor? I had a crazy girlfriend phase. The whole super jealous do over dramatic cries, lies, and tantrums. I lost so much friends and my credibility both personally and professionally because a frenemy used my outburst as evidence to discredit me. Have since learned my lesson and keep a more low-key-ish life. I miss my old friends though. Can you write more? It's just that you're the first person I've run into who realized that they were the crazy person and then uncrazied themselves. Like, why did you do all those things? How did you rationalize them at the time? What was the wake-up moment? How do you check yourself on an ongoing basis? I was really into deaf studies and American Sign Language. I started using ASL everywhere and talking to everyone, even people who didn't know it. I sometimes wished I was deaf too, and almost dated a guy just because he knew ASL because his family members were deaf. It was really embarrassing and I'm glad I've moved past those days. Now I'm studying communication disorders, so I get to use it sparingly, but I also get to help people with a lot of other things too. Oh no. Okay, well, I have some family that lived in Oakland, California, and every summer I would go and visit. When I was in my freshman year of high school, I went through my hyphy phase. Thanks to Keek the Sneak, E40, and Federation, I too thought I could pop purple pills, ride the yellow bus, and rock my fizz face all day. I went all out with this crap, man. I bought the long-ass white tees, baggy-ass jeans, a SpongeBob backpack, cause all the real hyphy dudes wear this crap. Now picture this chubby Mexican kid that always wanted to simply be black, walking around a small suburban town dressed up as the hyphy manifestation. It didn't just stop there though. I actually convinced some of my friends to rock this style too, and we would try to ghost ride, but always kinda chickened out and would run back into the car after 3 seconds. Crap man, just the thought alone makes me cringe. But to be honest, at the same time, kinda smile. Early in high school, I was desperately trying to find myself. My best friend at the time was a Mormon, and I decided, hey, I want to be Mormon too. Didn't go over so well with my Baptist parents. Well, my friend went on his mission, and I discovered that I was just highly attracted to him, and I'm incredibly gay. That was fun. My cowboy phase. When I was 11, I wanted to become a cowboy, so I picked out the closest thing in my wardrobe to cowboy clothing, which was a blue pair of shorts, a Ronaldo jersey, black West 49 zip hoodie, DC shoes, and of course, a cowboy hat. I grew out my hair, I'm a guy, and hid behind it to seem mysterious. Soon after, I moved schools and convinced everyone I had moved there from Kentucky, really just moved an hour north. Naturally, I was not the most popular one in that school. People liked me more as soon as that phase ended. Best of all, there are pictures. I'm trying to find them. Thanks for watching until the end. If you have something to share, please do so in the comments below. Then be sure to like this video, subscribe, and then hit that notification bell so that you know when our next video is ready. For more videos just like this one, please stop by our channel. Thanks again, and see you next time.